going for base hits this week. I'm not doing anything crazy. I think you guys should be doing the same. Last week was crazy. This week, it's a short week. It's Thanksgiving week. Volatility's still there. So there's still good trades to be had, but I wouldn't be shooting for anything too crazy. I want this. Okay. I have to sneeze also. Give me a second. Okay. Yesterday, gold broke out towards end of day. Last time we were up here, we did reject, but I'm leaning towards this being continued breakout. Levels I'm watching, 4100 value area high from last week's range, 4160 value area high from high time frame range, 4117, 4117 value area high from New York session today. So this value area high did hit almost. It got within like 3 points of it. Last night, 4107 was hit. This morning, 4107 again, same area. So a little bit off on the value areas, but I mean, pretty close. So last night, right? Looks like we're starting to reject. Would look for 4118, 4100 for downside targets. Everyone. After I saw this, right? Clean VWAP rejection. We bounced up. Had this rejection right in here. This was here, right? Or no, it was here. It was right here. Okay, right in here. At 8:30, I said sellers aren't as aggressive as they were last week. Could see a reversal back towards the highs. This was off this candle. That's right when I posted it. We fully reversed back towards the highs. We even start breaking out. So I think that was fine. I should have probably included more analysis, but yeah. Then today, leaning bullish on gold. Price is sustaining this upper range after the rally yesterday. I'd like to see us break out above 4160 today. In the overnight, we retested near 4100 and it had a strong bounce. Retail sales also came back negative, which should be positive for gold. I'm watching to see if we get expansion from these 4140s, since we are right at the overnight upper band. Also watching 4130 near VWAP and value area high. If we got a strong break above 4160, I would look for 4200 as the next level. PPI was also above expectation, so an increase in inflation year over year. Core PPI was down, but overall PPI was up. So whenever inflation's up, gold typically does well. Not always the case, because you still want rate cuts with gold. So I longed this here on stream, or I longed it like right here on stream. Got stopped for like 4 points. Then I longed here with just 1 micro. So this first one was a mini. Then I longed with 1 micro just because of how volatile it was. Got stopped out on that. And then I longed it again here with 3 micros. Then I added into it up to 10. And then I closed it out like here at 41.25. You'll see that trade in here. Watching for buyers to step up, right, trying it here. Got stopped. Still open to a second attempt. Potential absorption here, but no buyers coming in yet. Also CVD divergence. Want this to base out a bit before trying longs again. All right. The second trade I took, it was a little rushed. This was all just on paper because I had already hit my consistency targets last night. Last long attempt here. Right. This is after I scaled into it. I initially got in here with 3 micros. Want to see this most recent high break as this was moving up. Gonna cut this after the next candle if we don't break out, and then I cut it at 10:39. So I cut it on this candle, cut it on that candle, and then we dropped down and then rallied. A little bit annoying because this is exactly what I was looking for. Said, well, there's the breakout I was looking for at 11:17. Right, this is exactly what I was looking for. Give me what I wanted. I mean, I was trading paper. I was just kind of like over it at that point. I'd been in the trade for 9:50 till I was in the trade for like 40 minutes and it had done nothing. But yeah, let's see Uranus. What we got, Uranus? What we got? Yesterday. Okay, wait, no. 925, shorting NQ. Tighten my stop. Want to see VWAP hold if it retests. Okay. I like this short. I like this short on NASDAQ. I did see this last night. Looks good. I brought stop down. It's just, we were very rangy last night. When this did start to break down, it was like going into London. But this is exactly what you were looking for, right? What you were looking for happened. It was just, we were stuck in a range for a little bit too long. If we fail to break this low, I'll try to range trades. Might just play ping pong after the trend day. Yeah, I knew that already. Can this the fucking buyer at the value area high just give up? Thank you. Brought stop to a 15-minute and lower band. Forgot to set a TP. I just shoot for 15 points or trail it. Not monitoring anymore. I need to go to sleep. I have a migraine. My stop's at break even. I'll check in the AM. Did you get break even on this? So this was at, what time was this at? This was at 10:51. Oh, it looks like you got break even. Yeah, I think this is a good trade though. I think this is a good trade. The break even to me, when we're ranging like this, since you've got a good entry on this, I just leave my stops up at this high. Right, we're risking 15 points or 13 points. Right? Not a big deal. To me, that's where I would do it. I mean, this is on a funded account, so yeah. And then look for this downside. The downside I would be looking for is like these 800s. Why? I'd be looking for, I would front run this 382. I'd look for this like 0.28 just because we have this structure here, right? We have this little structure point in here. So I just look to take it off at like 860s. But I like the trade. NQ still struggling to find buyers at value area high. Going to wait for a setup if there is one for shorts. No setup. Tingle time. Okay. Good short off the 618. A little bit of a late alert. Turns out there was one off the 618. I don't think the sell-off is done. Taking it again. Smaller size because wide stop. Market is pretty much following NVIDIA sentiment. Yeah. So here, I like this initial 618 trade. I think it makes a lot of sense. But after these big trend days, I don't like to revert. Like, I don't expect this trend to fully reverse after a big trend day, especially after we've been selling off for the last week. Also, look where we hit. If you're just using fibs, 618 to the T. So. That's my only like comment really. It's like I'd rather look for the longs in here. And then when this chops around VWAP for this long, this to me, like if this is gonna reject VWAP, it's gonna like this should have already flushed. But the fact that it's sitting around the overnight VWAP, where's the New York VWAP at as well? I want to check that. Okay, we're above New York VWAP. We're chopping around the overnight VWAP. This is holding as support. I want to look for longs in this case. So that's my comment personally. So I would be biased long-sided on NQ versus short bias. And then once the IB breaks, right? Once the IB breaks, you don't really get a pullback on this till the end of the day. But it does pull back down to that upper band. It's the 0.28 for the entire New York range. If you take the last pivot, it is the 0.5. So I'd take it there. You tilted on your live account? How much are you down? All right. KPEC, trying short for IB low break in London, got stopped from 0.65, didn't wait for proper reaction, wanted that short, but I missed from London, open VWAP. Okay, probably rushing a little bit, still trying to get this payout. Trying it one more time at value area low volume and lower band of VWAP. I moved stop loss because there's some flush. IDK what it was, like fast down and then fast up, 10 points in London. I think that was Ukrainian news or something. TP is at value area high from high time frame fib and IB extension and 4100 level. You got stopped on this. I think this looks valid to try to short this. Oh wait, when was this at? This was at 437. Yeah, when it recovers like this, yeah, I wouldn't. I I wouldn't personally try to short this after this flushes that much, and then you get such a strong recovery. That's me though. This initially looks good. You have good risk management on this. Your stop's solid on this, so don't have an issue there. You got stopped. Took one more short at VWAP, London high, low volume node, IB high, momentum trade for lower band. Took it out manually. Okay. Good little recovery. Just going for that lower band. I like that. Reasonable target, right? Yesterday we didn't have reasonable targets. Today we have a reasonable target. So this I like this trade. Combine 7 gone. Had a bit of tilt afternoon. Blew the combine. Was already pissed off in London because of it. And should have just called it there. Need to have a look into what went wrong with my entries. Okay. Yeah. So we're trying this. This has come up to the upper band, started to reject, but then you get this big doji wick. If you were short here off this lower band rejection, I want to bring my stop in because this should, like after this full body candle, that should reject, right? And then you get the doji, you get this big wicking doji. Want to get out of that. I don't hate the idea. And then long. This was okay. Yeah, this was the long. This is the long I was trying. And then we tried another long after, what time is this at? This is in London, so we're trying this at VWAP. This just rejected the upper band. It's just rejected the upper band. I was in this here, right? I was trying this up here, and then I had my stop like here. I had like a 4-point stop on this. I think the stop's too low, right? Because if it's going to crack through VWAP, it's going to flush it. Tried it again. Yeah, this just looks like tilt to me. You'll bounce back. Bearish bias reasons. Price rejecting key value area high daily and POC weekly. Overextended buy yesterday on New York. Bearish trend on higher time frame. Saw volume channel on weekly profile. Trade one break even. Tried for short and pre-market when price was rejecting weekly POC. POC daily and intraday. Saw bearish CVD. Move stop loss to break even after seeing price struggle to break VWAP. Was kind of not confident with this trade. Entry 24,923. Stop loss 24. So you have a tight stop on this. Target was London lows. Trade 2. 4.3 RR. Tried the short again at market open after seeing that price was rejecting value area low. Initial target was weekly VWAP, but moved the TP down after seeing strong sellers and no reaction at that level. Next target was to get 1200 for a combine, and I trailed a bit too tight on 15 seconds when price was near TP and got stopped out. Okay, so this first trade, 923. Yeah, so this is up here. This isn't pre-market. You're trying this before PPI news comes out. So I don't know if you knew PPI news was coming out, but this was right before PPI news at 8:30. So if there's a news event at 8:30, I don't really want to try anything before then. PPI did nothing. Yeah, the initial candle's not that big, but then it dumps afterwards. Dumps off the open. PPI is not as big of an event as CPI, right? The PPI news releases, the candles aren't going to be that big, but this, right? It gets the rejection, and then in pre-market, right, it starts to trend down. I like this re-entry. I think you could have re-entered a little bit higher on this retest of VWAP when this comes down, right? Okay, now you've got sellers coming in. These are the sellers you wanted to see. Comes back up, retests VWAP, and then it dumps. Starts dumping. Either way, the second trade is good. I think this first trade, it's just, timing-wise, you took break even on it, so not an issue there. Hard read here on MNQ that I got stopped on. Dumped off open, so I was looking for shorts, but PO was choppy. I got cooked later trying 2 shorts from VWAP. Hit DLL, could improve my entry to be honest, and after a 45-minute IB trade fails, I should wait for the 1-hour IB to set. So that will be what I'm doing next instead of taking back-to-back trades with the same idea that I just failed to scale out. To 15-minute time frame and realized we were holding above weekly VWAP, but for some reason was still looking for shorts. So I'd be looking at 15-minute time frame. Okay. I'm cool with that. This short, I don't hate this short. Our entry's too low though. The entry is too low. You know, if we shorted back up here, that's fine. If we shorted here, that's also fine. But our entry's too low. I don't hate this idea though. I don't hate this short idea. Same idea that Uranus had. It was good for a quick scalp. Is the fib correct? Yeah, the fib's pretty much correct. You know, it's not perfect, right? We're off by a couple ticks. But your fib's anchored correctly. NQ long overall bias was bullish. I had good targets above. My entry was 0.5 fib. Okay, solid. So took longs off this. Once we recovered back above VWAP, this looks good. This is a little sketchy trading in here, right? When this is chop fest, you know, you were able to find an entry, get a good entry on that, and take it long. I'm fine with that. Then once this gets back above the New York VWAP, then it's like, okay, I should be chilling, right? I should be chilling once this recovers back above New York VWAP. It was just, this was big tug of war going on. Good trade, TV. Good trade. I don't have too many comments other than, like, this is a little sketchy to enter, but you got a great entry. Got to get great entry. Can you go over my trade? I just did, bro. But I don't hate this. I don't hate this short idea. It's just we're entering way too low. Sticking on the 15-minute time frame, that works great. Also consider yesterday's price action, right? Let's look at, like, we just had a very strong trend day yesterday. We had a strong day on Friday. We had a strong day on Monday. What should we expect for Tuesday, right? Look at the daily. This is a stat that I used on NASDAQ when I was trading it. Okay, you sweep. So yesterday we swept Friday's high. So today we should sweep. So today we should sweep Monday's high, right? It's the same thing as here, right? You're getting this nice bull leg printing. So you should have leaned bullish, right? I would have been looking for bullish trades here, just because of how strong this on these strong trend days, right? I would expect a retrace, right? I would expect a retrace. I expect a retrace, but not for it to break this low. Not for it to break this low. I just expect a retrace. It gives you that retrace that starts to come up, and then it gets a nice little pop. Okay. But yeah, I like the 15-minute time frame. I like your thought process. Your thought process is fine. The entry's off. The entry's off, clutch. Last trade short on NQ after I saw sellers getting trapped with inbounds, getting payout. Okay, so this came up to 25,460. Okay, great entry, KPEC. This is right at the top. I like this where you're getting right when this bounces and it comes up, and this looks super strong and bullish. What should I expect? If I'm bullish, I want this to sweep the highs. But if I'm bearish, I want to short this and just set my stop at the high. Which, good execution on it, great entry. Risking 150 bucks? Yeah. Clean ass trade. Clean trade. Good job getting to payout as well. I know we talked on the check-in call yesterday in the mentorship. And you were, you know, freaking out a little bit about it. But it's good to actually get to pay out. Okay. Just wanted to clarify when I said my kid made 2K today, this is my chart, my account that I'm showing. He pulled the trigger. He was supposed to manage the stop and manage the trade. Before he took the trade, we discussed and analyzed what could happen, what to do when you see it happening, if your bias is correct, and how you will manage the trade. Well, that is why you don't see a stop and a profit target on the left chart. We fixed that. He's still learning. What he didn't know at the time is that the account I bought for him yesterday was linked, copied to mine. So in essence, he made the trade on my chart, but it was copied onto his account. Putting out there for clarity, when I told him, he just shrugged and walked away to play his Battlefield game or whatever the new hottest video game is. Shake my damn head. Freaking clueless, but I got a lot of nonchalant. This trade is nothing more than a confluence trade with SPY, NVIDIA, and Microsoft. A few other Mag 7 stocks breaking support. Just ride the wave and don't fall off. This is the easiest trade setup I can teach them. It's all visual when everything lines up and nothing more. Yeah, this is a good trade. Good teaching moment, Rocky. I think it's because he's 15, bro. When you're 15, you don't really have a concept of money. You don't know what it's like to go work a minimum wage job. And then what? You work 40 hours and you get a fucking $250 paycheck or some shit? Not 250, but let's say you work 40 hours, you get a $500 paycheck at minimum wage. That fucking sucks, bro. It sucks. So, yeah. Why is Rocky's son trading better than us? Because he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Yeah, Tyler. So I know you're in Australia or you're in New Zealand, one of the two. I forget which one. So they update at like 6 p.m. Eastern. 6. But I've also had it where like I have to wait till 7 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern in order to request. So, I wouldn't stay up to request it because they're not even going to process the request till the morning, right? What time is it Eastern currently? It's 4 p.m. Eastern. So it's probably pretty late for you. I just go to sleep, bro. And then because they don't even process it till the next morning. And then another thing, it's 7 a.m. Okay, cool. Then you can just chill for whatever. Yeah, so you can request it at like, it'll be like 9 a.m. your time. And if it doesn't pull up in the payout request section, just wait till like 10 a.m. I just check every hour till it lets you request it. Because they won't process it till, like today's Tuesday. And if I requested a payout after close today, they wouldn't start processing it until Wednesday. I guess it's Wednesday for you already. So they wouldn't start processing it till Thursday. But, yeah, another thing with Alpha that a lot of people freak out about is when you request that payout, instead of like, just keeping your account there and like taking the money out really quick, the account disappears off the platform. So if you log into your platform and you're like, why is there no account? That's what they do. I don't know why they do it that way, but if you log into your AlphaTix account or your TradeAvate account, whichever one, it's going to show that your account's not there, and it might freak you out. So just be aware of that. How long does the payout take? If I request it, and then they start processing it that morning, usually it takes like 3 to 4 hours to get the account back. It's not as quick as TopStep. But once they process it and they pull the money from your account, usually it's within a day. I use Rise Works to get paid out from them, so usually it's not too bad. I use Rise. Yeah. No, it's yeah, Rocky. It's because he's 15, bro. It's because he's 15. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't understand how money works, right? So you think about back when you were 15. It's a little different now, right? Also, like, if he goes on his phone, there's probably someone who's like, if I go on my IG Reels, I could scroll for 2 minutes and be like, it would be like, this is how I made $20,000 trading the Nasdaq. This is how I got a Porsche GT3 at 20 years old, right? Like, and that's the outlier. That is the outlier, but there are kids online just making crazy money, and it's like, it's desensitizing. So, don't hate him too much for it, right? If he has to go work a job, right, to figure it out. And another thing, Supreme Team Dallas, he has a little brother who's like 17 or 18, and he was like paying for his accounts and stuff like that, paying for his combines. And he was like, bro, like, I'm trying to like knock some sense into him and all that. And it's like, I was like, just tell him you're just gonna stop paying for the combines, and he has to go work at McDonald's to get a paycheck in order to pay for the accounts, because his little brother, he was doing well, right? He was trading really well. He'd be good for like 3 or 4 days, and then he'd be one day from payout and he'd blow it up. So I told him just stop paying for the accounts. Stop paying for the accounts and tell him you're on your own for that one. And his brother took it more seriously because he understood, okay, if I want a new account, I have to go work 20 hours to get it, right? or whatever it is. If you're making like $20 an hour, let's say $20 an hour, you want to pay for a new XFA, you got to go work 10 hours. Oh, and then they take tax out. So it's really like 12 hours, 12 to 14 hours to get that account. But yeah. Betsy, you sent a trade. Let me check it really quick. This is my trade for trade review. This is on MES, 1 minute. What time is this at? This is after open. Ooh. Where'd my trade review go? What just happened? Why do I got 2 trading views open? Yeah, this is even cleaner than NASDAQ, bro. Like how this is holding above. NASDAQ was holding above the New York VWAP, but it wasn't holding above overnight VWAP. This looks clean. We broke out of daily and weekly value area, retested value area high and ripped. Yeah, that's a valid trade. You're also holding above that overnight VWAP. This, like, where you took this, your IB high had already broken too. So you've got the IB high break, you get a close above. Your value area high held. You got a good entry on this. Your stop's reasonable. It's at these lows. Back here. Or no. It's further up. It's before you break that high. It's like here. Yeah. This is a good trade. Let's see. You just gotta start taking those on the fundeds. But I like just trade with small size for like two weeks, bro. Build the habit of like being like, okay, I made $150 today, and tomorrow I make $150 or $250 or whatever it is, however much you make, right? Just look to end green, and you're gonna be like, okay, at the end of the week I made like $800, and I'm not stressed out, and I didn't blow an account, and now I don't have to spend money on a new account and all of that, right? You're gonna feel. I bet by the end of 2 weeks you're gonna feel a lot better. Soon copy trading 3 accounts. Yeah, I mean, if you're copy trading 3 accounts and you're making $200 a day, that's $600, bro. That's a lot. $600 a day. It's a lot. But like, we need to build the consistency just to get you there. Yeah. I mean, I'm just shooting for. Right now, I'm shooting for like $500 days on all my accounts. I don't care. It's a slow week. We're coming up to the end of the year. I'm just trying to get into the live account with Tradeify. Get started on that. Start the new year off right. But yeah. I guess anything else? Anyone else got any trades? One more. Took this trade earlier, rejected near 786. Looking for longs on MNQ. Edgefill says 81% chance to break the highs. So wait for rejections. Got 3 points, a bit tight for a stop loss. Was targeting 70 points where London and Tokyo would have hit, but still green. Okay. Yeah. Your trail was probably too tight, or you took it off manually. This, if you're watching the 5 minute, it's just steady grind up like that. I would just go break even on this, right? You got a good entry off the breakout candle. Like, you get a breakout candle, then you get a doji, and it doesn't reject. So I just put this to break even, bro. It looks like you had a nice short here too. I just put it to break even, and then just let it ride. You can also use the 50 minute. Yeah, Baron, I called a short in the ES. Okay. Yeah, right at these highs. Let me pull it up. Up at these highs. Yeah, I mean, it's end of day though. Get high time frame. Yeah, I mean, this is resistance area right now. I wouldn't expect this to, yeah, I would expect this to break out. All right, any questions, guys? Anything I can answer? Yeah, what's up? How is it? The saved ones, XLF. Okay, yeah, these are just different sectors of the S&P. XLF, it's the financial sector. XLE, that's energy. XLK, that's tech. There's more sectors than this, right? There's healthcare. There's a bunch of different sectors, but these are the ones I pay attention to. Financials, tech. So this is going to be very similar to Nasdaq. Energy or XLK is going to be very similar to Nasdaq. XLE, this is just energy sector. XLF, this is financials like banks, stuff like that. So it's just big ETF. Am I gonna be a good boy for the rest of the day? I got slow markets, so yeah. How do I be more patient without missing the move? Okay. This is something that's really tricky about trading. It's the trickiest bit about trading, in my opinion. You need to be patient enough to wait for the entry, but you need to be quick enough to catch it. Right? It's like you're waiting for the light to turn green, and you want to get on the gas as soon as that light turns green. It's something. It takes time. It takes time. Where you're gonna have to make this. You're gonna have to make the mistake over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it's gonna be infuriating. And then one day it's just gonna click. Like it's just gonna click. How do you know how sessions move so well? Like for GC, you predicted where it would move, and you were like a point off. It might be like the Jew in me. I don't know. No, I don't know. I just kind of look at the charts, and that's just what I see, bro. That's what I see. For this, I was just looking at the value area high, right? This 41.58 level, that's the value area high, and it came a point off it. There's been times in the last 2 weeks where I've been like within 5 ticks of where price moves, or 1 point where price moves. Today I was, a couple points off. I could have had a little bit better analysis, but if I'm looking here, right, what matters if I'm taking this volume profile for today? What matters for price range? Should I take it for Asia session? Should I take it for New York? What should I take? Well, if I'm looking at this, right, let's say this is the data I have. Let's say this is what I'm looking at coming into the New York session. I'll go back a little bit further too. Coming into New York session, what do I have? If I take this profile, does this give me all the data? No, it doesn't. So if I go down to the 5 minute, I want to include, right, where's this price at? I'm looking at where this low from London is. Oh, well, this is the last candle that has that same price. So that's what I need to look at. Okay, this falls through this value area high. I was looking at this to support. When I'm looking, so there's 2 scenarios. When I'm looking at the volume profiles and I'm thinking about it, I could look at this value area high as support, or, right, the other scenario I could look at is I want to see sellers step in and crush us, just crush through that value area high. I want to use it as a area of where momentum will pick up, right? So I'm thinking about it as potential support or an area where momentum starts to pick up. And I initially viewed this as support, and looking back at it, I should have used it as the momentum case, right? There's 2 different cases I should be looking at, and I should have used it for the momentum case, right? Because if I'm looking at this, okay, we just rejected out of this resistance area. What's this resistance area? Well, it's just previous structure. That's all it is. This was initially resistance. We broke out from it. Then it became support, and now it's resistance again. So I should look at this and say, okay, we rejected here in Asia once, twice. So this is it's valid resistance to me. I should have looked at this and said, okay, we just rejected out of it again. We break below the lower band or the upper band. Break below the upper band, we come up, we retest it. I should short this, expecting this value area high to break. Where do I take profit on this? I should take profit down at POC. or I should take profit at the lower band. Either of these is valid. I got stuck on the long bias though. I'll be honest. I got stuck on it, and it's going to happen. But that doesn't mean I can't look back and say, okay, yeah, I could see where I should have taken this other setup. You know, and where's the low of day? Well, if I'm looking at this volume profile, what do I notice? Okay, when we get down here, when we get down into this region, we push past this POC and we get near this value area low. What's here? It's just a bunch of buyers. It's just a fuck ton of buyers. So why would I be bearish below this value area low? Unless the buyers don't step up, then there's no reason for me to be bearish below this value area low. That momentum's already played out. This comes below the value area low, right? Immediately gets bought up. And then this is where you get the breakout. And even if I'm looking at here, right? So I was long in here. I was long like right here, or like right here. I forget where exactly. Where does price come right down to? Where does price bounce right off of? POC. So you go below the value area low, you find your buyers. Great. Now I'm trying to take this for the break of VWAP. This is the initial tap of VWAP, and it's not breaking. It's showing it's as resistance. This New York VWAP is my resistance point. Okay, we come back down, we retest that POC, more buyers step up, and that's where you get your momentum leg. This is the breakout I was looking for all day on stream today. But I should have just waited, right? If I just waited, instead of trading up here, instead of taking a trade here, instead of taking a trade here, right? If I just waited and said, okay, well, this VWAP showing us resistance, but we did find buyers down here. We pushed below a value area low. I'm just taking you through a step-by-step process of how you should think about it, or how I like to think about the charts. And I saw this as it was down at POC. And I was like, that looks like a nice long. That looks like a nice long. I didn't take it. I didn't have anything to take it on. But it touches that, it hits this POC. Immediately rallies off of it. Right? If I'm taking this trade, even if I use the limits, right? The way I'm looking at gold, it's really just, a lot of it's just based in volume. Gold respects volume a lot. I would have a 4-point stop on this, 4.3 stop. And I'd be looking, right? Where was I looking up to? I was looking up to 4160. Now, it doesn't get all the way up to 4160, right? But this is a 10-to-1 trade. Just off volume profiles. If you can properly anchor them, you can identify the zones you want to look at. You can get good entries, right? That's what you would look for. I mean, this doesn't hit for 40 points, but I would be able to get at least 30 out of it. Friend, I'm not completely sure, but I think you got a question. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me scroll that. Asia target AM and London lows for GC. What do you mean? Like today? Or after close? Entries are killing me. Yeah, it goes back red. That's what I've been doing. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. But like, I would say only take a trade when you're like, okay, I'm able to properly identify what the market state is. What's the context. And that's why, like, during the September mentorship, every single lesson I taught focused on context. Because I was like, something's not clicking for a lot of people. And I reframed it in terms of what's the market context. And I think it started to click a lot more for a lot of people. I support, and they told me I need a level 2 employee to help me, and I need to wait until the issue is fixed. Do I really need to wait? Yeah, Zeke, you do have to wait. Yeah. Any answer first if I can trade or not? Oh, like you lost money today? Or what? You should have let me rant for a little bit, Zeke. You keep spamming the question. I'm just trying to rant. Okay? Shut up. I want XFA. What's going on? I don't... Okay, you're saying... I asked support. They told me I need a level 2 employee to
Help me, and I need to wait till the issue is fixed. What's the issue? I don't know what the fucking issue is. You didn't describe it to me, bro. You're German. You're supposed to be very, like, descriptive. And, like, you're supposed to be able to provide me, you know, a certain level of description. You told me earlier. What did you tell me? You kept getting stuffed out on what? Price problem? Okay. Yeah, that's why I asked, and you said no. I want extra pay. Yeah, just wait. Just wait, bro. Have a little bit of patience. Me know I had a bug. Yeah, just have a little bit of patience, bro. Because when I need a level 2 team member because I'm in the Focus Trader plan or whatever. When I need a level 2 team member to unlock my account, sometimes it takes 2 days. I don't get any special treatment, bro. Sometimes it takes 2 days to get my account unlocked to buy a new combine. You know, Ashley or Laura is going to help you out, Ziki. That's all I know. Those are the level 2 team members that I always get. It's Ashley or Laura. Timothy was good. Yeah. Yeah, so I would just get you know, if you got a different account you can trade or something else. Right? I mean there's hey. Chill. Now I lost my train of thought. There's a lot of sales going on, Ziki, so you can go get an account somewhere else too. Right? Not a big deal. Alpha's got a sale. Oh, another thing that I figured out about Alpha on their zero plans, which is actually really fucking nice. And this might be good for you, Ziki, right? Because you're taking payouts without, like, you're taking payouts. Okay, so let's say you get an Alpha Zero account. Let's say you get a 50K account. So you have a 50K account, you've got a 2K loss limit. Okay? Let's say you just do $250 winning days. Right, you get your $250 winning days, your account balance is at $1,250. Okay? You're like, well, let me just take a payout here. Let me take a $600 payout. You take a $600 payout, right? Instead of making it so, all right, you know, now you only have $650 of buffer left. Oh, $650. So you take a $600 payout. You have $650 of buffer left. This is what Top Step would do, right? You only have $650 of buffer. But with the zero accounts, you still have $1,400 of buffer. So your buffer doesn't go to zero. Like, your buffer doesn't come up to, like, does that make sense? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, your buffer doesn't reset, essentially, when you take the payout. The daily loss limit's annoying as fuck. Honestly, the daily loss limit, it's helped me, bro. It helped me not blow accounts when I was going and struggling. That's what saved my Tradeify account, was a daily loss limit. If I didn't have a daily loss limit on this account, I would have blown this bitch up, bro. This bitch would have been blown. This bitch would have been blown if I didn't have a daily loss limit. But it saved me. So yeah, Alpha Futures, use code Evan. I don't have a code with them, but maybe I should go get a code, but use code Evan, it will get you 25% off. And it's 1 day pass. Ziki. And you'll get the account right after you pass it. It's impossible to blow with 2K max loss limit. It doesn't even go up. What do you mean? It's easy. How much is a good limit
daily loss limit for a 50K account. Okay, yeah, I talked about this on a mentorship call. Right? It depends on the trader. Completely depends on the trader. But if I go and I look at this account, right, I want to have some data in order to do. There's a good baseline, right? You could set a baseline. You could say, I'm going to take my win rate. I'm going to look at this risk management chart. I'm going to take my win rate, and I'm going to, find out how many trades it would take me. What's my statistical likelihood of blowing the account with like 6 trades? You could do it that way. That's a good baseline. But a better way to do it is you want to go in to, you're going to have trading days for this, right? If I go into here, right, I can see, okay, I was down 1,300 at one point. Go into the next day. Okay, I hit a 2K loss limit. Go into this next day. Okay, how much was I down? 1,300, around 1,300. How much was I down? Nothing. How much was I down here? Nothing. How much was I down here? 1,400. How much was I down here? 2,000. How much was I down here? 3,000. How much was I down here? 1,300. How much was I down here? Right? 1,600, 2,200, and then it fell apart. So if I'm looking at this, right, I could reasonably say, okay, things start to fall apart when I'm down more than $2,500. So I shouldn't have a daily loss limit over $2,500. I might go to 2K. That might be a little bit too tight. I might give myself a tiny bit more room there. But I want to see where things start to fall apart. Things start to fall apart for me after 2,500 in the red. So, yeah. Do I only recommend the 0 accounts from Alpha? Yeah, because the other accounts are too expensive. The advanced and the standard, it's too expensive. Especially with how Top Step just changed their pricing. It's too expensive. It was 1,250 maximum loss limit and moved to 2K, but I have a decent amount in there. It would take a whole week of hitting max loss limit. You mean daily loss limit to blow it. Gotcha. After 2 to 3 losses, I go down. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Kelly, come here. Kelly, come here. Come on. Put your paws up. Give me your paws. No, she's not getting out. But yeah, go into your stats. Look, where does it start to fall apart? On this account, it's 2,500. On other accounts, sometimes it's 4K for me. But around 2,500, that's where I start, just doing stupid shit. It depends on the trader. Really. Anything else, guys? Before I hop off? Or are we good? Kelly. She's so excited. Any new secret stats? No, I think all the stats I'm using have been pretty well laid out. I don't really want to change anything right now. The only thing I've added recently is footprint charts and like using volume profiles a little bit more, but that's it. Where am I making most of my money? Asia. It is Asia. I love trading Asia on gold. I love Asia. I love some gold in Asia. But that doesn't mean you can't trade New York or London. Ziki and KPEC are doing it, right? They're trading London gold. They're trading New York gold. It's doable. But only scalp, yeah. But like Asia, I mean, yeah, it's really just like holding London is, yeah, dude, London price action on gold. I'm glad I'm not a London gold trader because it looks abysmal, bro. Most days it looks abysmal. Today it doesn't look that bad. Right, you could get short at this VWAP tap. You just have to like short at this VWAP tap, take it down to the lower band. You could short this again, just have your stop above this previous high. And then this doesn't go to lower band, but it flushes down to that value area low. And then starts to recover. But like looking at London for GC, like this sucks. This is okay. Like this is tradable. This is tradable. This is tradable. This is tradable. But a lot of the time, like London, like this is dog shit. 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 Like, a lot of the time, London fucking sucks for gold, bro. It's like Asia and New York are the best sessions for gold. Yeah. If you're scalping, your entries have to be good, though. How do you say? If you want to scalp, you gotta have good entries, and you gotta be able to identify the momentum. And good exits, yeah. Isaac, what time is 6:30 a.m. for you? Are you still working during that period or that time? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was talking with Brianna, and she modified the IB to be 6 to 6:30, 5 on gold, and it's from 6 to 8 a.m. session time. And she went and back tested it just for 1 month, right? So I don't know if the stats are all the way there, but based off a general just glance, it looks solid. She had like a 65% win rate with it. You think bull run is back with 80% rate cut chance? Yeah, it is. Yeah, bull run's back, bro. I mean, that rate cut last week, it was 50-50. Now it's 85% chance. Like, yeah, it's back. This market keeps making me think we might spill into a bear market, and then it's just like, nah, fuck it. That was just a pullback, baby. We're going higher. And then it will do it again. It's going to keep doing it until it's like, okay, now it's like, now this is really bearish. Yeah, I think it's already priced in. You might see a little bit more turmoil just because of the job market and, some of these supply shocks with RAM and storage, right? A lot of it's getting eaten up by the AI supply chain, and there's not enough manufacturing for it. So. What was the settlement today? What do you mean? Like, at close? Oh, Ukraine? Peace deal. No, NVIDIA. My bad. It was something with TPU. I need to look into it. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really pay attention to the market today. I traded this morning and I was like, cool, I'm done. I had to go take care of some shit with AT&T. So I wasn't really watching the market after I hopped off stream. I watched this come down, tap POC, and then start to rally. And then I was like, okay. I took a nap and then went dealt with shit with AT&T. But I would just check newsfeed, see what that is. See what's in newsfeed. Feed. You didn't trade NQ today? No. I've only been trading GC still. I have been looking at NQ a little bit more, but yeah, mostly GC. All right, I'm gonna hop off, but I will see y'all later.